what we're here for. Lay some treats on us.
I am committed to the finicky, disruptive details of good stories that don't know how to end. Good stories reach into rich pasts to sustain thick presents, to keep the story going for those who come after. So, can you talk about this thick present and what kind of stories are these good stories we need in this thick present?
There we go. I think you know that Ursula Le Guin is one of my heroes, and that her paper from now many years ago, the carrier bag theory of fiction, is very important to me. And in that story, she talks about needing to stop telling the prick tale, the tale of the hero with the weapons, the tale, truly the tale of phallic travels and return with the bounty. That enough with the prick tale. We need to tell the stories with the finicky details of the living and dying together, the tales of collecting and sharing and taking and giving, which are not innocent stories at all, but they're the stories of living and dying as a net bag, as a mochila, as a kind of collection. Okay. And that these are the stories that Le Guin thinks of as the shape of fiction. So it's not the matrix space with the privileged signifier moving across it, but it's rather something more like this, or something more like this. Can you see that? Whoops, wait a minute. There we go. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. This is a carrier bag that was given to me by Tania Perez in Bogota last summer when I visited. It's made by a collective of women who are working in defense of land and water and reproductive health and against sexual violence. It's a story of both campesina and indigenous women who work with fiber crafts. This one, of course, is, you can see this, it's a uterus. It puns on florecer, florecer and flower bee. I mean, the pun is obvious, though it took me a while to get it. This is a carrier bag in Le Guin's carrier bag theory of fiction. And inside this bag, when you receive it, is the histories of the people who are taking action for their lives now in the context of their histories, their human and more than human histories. It is a thick present. It is a present that brings up the surging past. The past is present, in the present for the ongoing, what is yet to be, what is still possible. It's a story of living thickly with each other in a kind of rich relationship to those who have come before, so as to pass on to those who come after something less violent, which is again from Deborah Bird Rose's way. That's what she learned about temporality, that the present is that time of the cultivation of the capacity to respond, responsibility. It's not a list of rules, it's not responsibilities as a preset ethical or political list, but the cultivation with each other of the capacity to respond, such that we are accountable to those who came before, so as to make what the world, for those who come after, more full of the practices of justice and care. And that's what I mean by a thick present. And it's the kind of storytelling that Le Guin practices, but so do many others. I think of that our storytelling practices are full of ways of imagining and enacting worlds that make more sense.
Does the idea of staying with the trouble refer to the unending struggle of biological life as a meaningful lesson for contemporary humanity?
Biological life is relentlessly opportunistic. It's not so much a struggle as a kind of relentless opportunism, full of all sorts of things, including joy and suffering and killing and eating and nurturing and furthering. And the biological world, of which we are full members, it's not like humanity learns from the biological world, but that humanity is within what Bruno would call the terrestrial, Bruno Latour, we spoke last weekend, that we are earthly. And I'm a biologist by training, and I keep up with biological work, particularly in relationship to theories of the holobiont, theories of living and becoming with each other from the get-go, that the biological world is and always has been a kind of becoming with, and that we have never been one. We have never been individuals. So yes, I think I use biology as metaphor and as story for emphasizing being with, becoming with, rather than becoming with, that we are always already with others in our specificity, in our situatedness, that we are not all the same. Human beings are not the same as octopuses. We are not the same as baboons. We are not the same as ants or as coronavirus, but we are with each other on this earth in ways that matter to ongoingness. So I'm really interested in situated specificity, and I think biology is a really good place to learn situated specificity, because if you're going to take biology seriously, you have to understand what these molecules are doing with these molecules in this kind of world of action and association. It's not all the time everywhere. Specificity really matters if you're a serious biologist. And I think that my sense of staying with the trouble, when I said staying with the trouble, I was more thinking about the troubles, the urgent crises among us. And I don't think of the biological world inherently as an urgent crisis. On the other hand, the radical destruction of complex lifeways, the radical simplification of whole ecosystems, the wiping out of all kinds of diversity, human and more than human, in systems of monocropping of all kinds, in systems of simplification for extraction. That is a trouble within the biological world, including humanity's place in the biological world. But I really don't think of the biological and trouble well, you see what I mean.